if we continue to move through this and we continue to talk about understanding who you are and maybe who you aren't or who you should be versus who you shouldn't be, it's important that we begin to think really more internally. Father Chris talked about confirmation and some of the things that go along with it and what that should look like for you. And then in Taylor, it was interesting as Taylor's talking about really who you are and don't let anybody sway who you are and what you can be. She's reading, and some of the things she was quoting were from the Catechism, and my talk kind of goes down the same way. And our whole deal here is to really try and help you understand that you are children of God, right? And how do you take that to your life as a whole? So I'm going to ask you again to think about who you are. Who are we? Who are we as a group? Who are we as individuals? And the other question is, we've been asking it and continue to ask it, is why are we here? As Catholics, we're initiated into the church by baptism and by the Eucharist, right? So that makes us Catholic. You're going to be confirmed, right? So you complete that process of initiation, so you are considered a fully adult member of the Catholic Church. And we take these sacraments and we enjoy them, right? But the other thing that we don't think about, or maybe we do, and I think it scares people, is I have to watch when I start to stand up, I start to sway and really take too long in my conversation, so I apologize. But this identity that you're going to receive at confirmation and you take it out into the world, what is that? See, and you think that Don's going to stand up here and Taylor, and Kevin and Jackie and Craig and Shannon and Amara and tell you that you have to go out and be this great evangelist and you have to go out and do this and you have to go out and do that. Right? But I would tell you that who you are and the actions that you create in your life, right, and the relationships that you build in your life speak more to you and more to others than somebody standing up here on a stage. So I look around the room, and I'm going to use a couple examples here. So I had gone to dinner one night with my daughter and one of her friends, and we were at Stacked, and sitting 2 tables across from us happened to be the Ruperts. Right? Now, I did not realize that they were there until they were about ready to leave. I don't know if you remember this night or not. Right? But we had been there probably for 45 minutes, right, Jackie, before I think we acknowledged that we saw each other. I can stand up here and be your youth minister. Taylor can stand up and be the director of youth ministry for high school, and we can preach all that we want. But if I had acted differently than what he and his brothers have seen in this building, how fast do I ruin my reputation with you? Probably in about a half a second, right? I remember a couple years ago I was having dinner with somebody, and we were I think it's Sensi's, yeah. And the Andersons walked in, right? Now I happened to see them when they walked in, but if they had walked in and I wasn't there as a youth minister, right? But if I was acting differently than I would when I'm in front of them, and I know because I've been through this program with all the Anderson men, right? How quickly does their reputation change if I'm being some kind of ass, right? Or if I'm not being who I preach to be up here, or if you see Taylor somewhere, right? Or Jackie, or Amara, or Shannon, or Craig, because we all live in the same area. So it's all about who you are and who you want other people to see that you are. So if I sit up here and I ask you who you are, right? Or if I describe myself, a little exercise. Here they come again. So, for me, if I sat here and I say to you, I am, what am I? I'm a youth minister. I'm a father. I'm a husband. Right? Monday through Friday, I'm a boss. Right? I'm a leader. Not meaning I'm a boss, but I have employees. Right? But if I asked you that same question, if you had to describe who you are, if you're looking in the mirror and you're saying to yourself or even to somebody else, you know what, I am this or I am that. What would you be? Chase, if you were looking at me and you needed me to understand who you are, or the most important thing about you, what would you say to me? Don, I am what?
So I am a brother, I'm a child of my parents, and I'm also a child of God.
Okay, perfect. Grace, if you were going to say to me, it doesn't have to be difficult, right? Just one thing.
I guess I would say, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter.
Okay, you can stop there. I'm not going to pick on you again, Reese. Cooper, if you were going to say to me, I am, what's one, and it doesn't have to be anything related to church either, right? I am what? Cooper, what are you?
I'm a student.
Okay, that works, right? Connor.
An athlete.
right? Alyssa. A sister? Okay, let's get one more. Chloe. I'm a pet owner, okay. So when you look at this and you think about this, right, these are all really quite good things, and it's who we are. And we use a lot of different words to describe who we are, don't we? But what worries me, maybe it shouldn't, but sometimes it does. We build our identity by maybe around the things that we do. I'm an athlete, right? I am sure Connor builds part of his life around baseball, right? Or we build our lives around the people that we hang around, right? And who we want to emulate. But I would say to you, look at who you're trying to emulate, and are they the right things or not? And see, to do that isn't a bad thing, right? But is it truly who we are? Because I would say to you, where is your identity when all those things are gone? So if for some reason baseball was gone from your life, Connor, who would Connor Flaherty be, right? If those people that you hang around, whether it be the dance team or a certain friend group, whatever the case may be, the lacrosse team, if those people are gone and you use them to be your identity, then who are you after they're gone? So the bigger thing I would challenge you with, when you look in the mirror, when you are the only one in the room, and you look in the mirror, who do you see, right? And what do you see? Do we see who we really are? Or do we see somebody different than we project to the world? I will tell you that even all of us, thinking about all of us as adults, as core team members, I'm betting any single one of us, no matter how long we've been here, how young we are, look in the mirror from time to time and think, is this really who I'm supposed to be, right? Maybe you have a bad day, a good day, whatever the case may be. But when we look in the mirror and we see that image, right, we realize sometimes that we are acting a certain way based on situations. And maybe we go home and as we're reflecting on those situations, we realize that maybe we're somebody totally different. And maybe you go to a party or some sort of event and you see people there, right, and you think, oh man, if I had another chance to do this, maybe I would have done it this way. Or if those certain people hadn't been there, I would have acted totally different than I did. Maybe you're thinking, I showed them, right? Or maybe you're thinking, gosh, I really didn't show who I truly was because I was intimidated by them. Or maybe we look in the mirror, and I know that people think this, right? And we think to ourselves, when I'm gone from Pine Richland High School or Hampton or Aquinas or Mars or Westie or wherever you go, I'm not going to have to be this person anymore. I am so tired of being this persona that I've created, and I won't be here anymore. It'll be a whole new beginning, and I can just go off and be who I am because there's no more expectations on me. But see, the problem is there will always be expectations of you. Right? Some of them we put on ourselves, and maybe we shouldn't, but there will always be expectations. No, you don't have to be the best athlete in the world, right? Maybe anymore. You don't have to be, the guy or the girl that's just, the most popular one in the group. Or the one that makes everything happen, right? But you really are going to find that there are things that are going to be expected of you, and how do you deal with those new things as they come into your life? And sometimes we build our identities for ourselves around lies. We're looking in the mirror. And I think to myself, I am so alone. Or you think to yourself, I'm so alone. And because maybe you've built these relationships or these friendships and they're not really that. But it's a persona that people seem to like you in and you think you need to be in. I'm so ugly. Right, so we overcompensate by spending hours upon hours in the gym, right? Or wearing nicer clothes, or putting on extra makeup, or doing our hair differently, things like that. Or we look in the mirror and we think, God, am I a failure? Are we? Or is it because we're putting expectations on ourselves that are so unrealistic to fit into a certain scenario that we don't always give ourselves the credit we deserve? But in the end, we always come back around, right? And we say, well, as long as I keep acting this way and doing these things, I'll have this friend group or that activity or this or that, and everything will be okay. But are we looking at who we really are? I would tell you when I was your age, and I do remember that far off, so don't be surprised, and pretty accurately too. I can remember that I had this friend group that I really, really enjoyed, right? We hung out a lot. We had been friends since we were like in 3rd or 4th grade. And I happened to be the first one that turned 16. And things were different way back then. We didn't have to drive for, 40 or 60 hours before we could take our test. And then, you couldn't only drive till midnight, only with one person in the car until you're 18. None of that mattered. Right? So it kind of became a pretty cool thing because Don had a car. But I also had this group of friends who thought, okay, well then he'll figure out what we're going to do tonight or tomorrow or whatever the weekend might bring. There were a lot of times that we would go out and do things, and they were pretty fun, right? Maybe kind of stupid.